guys, and welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is having a beautiful morning. It is so gorgeous here in Southeast Texas. But today, as you can see behind me, we've got our 92 Camaro RS. It's a fan favorite, obviously, just by the views of when we bought this car. So today we're actually gonna get this thing to turn over. It hasn't been started in over 10 years. And when we got the car, it was dead. I mean, as you can see in the last video, if you click the link up above, go check that video out. We definitely think either a young kid or a meth head had this car, because the wiring has been cut everywhere on this car. It was so crazy. But we've worked hard. We've done a lot of research, done a lot of figuring out, and we're finally to the point we're about ready to get this thing to spin over. Come check it out. We're definitely gonna have to spend some money. I mean, as you can see, radiator cap is shot. We'll have to have a new one of those. Down in the radiator is all kinds of calcium. That's gonna have to be flushed out with a cleaner. Also, this car has the notorious VAT system on it, to where you have to have the chip in the key. So is what we've done is we went ahead and spliced into the wires, and this is just temporary. Ran the orange wire to the pink wire, which runs the injectors, distributor, starter, and all of that. But if you have a key with a chip in it, that chip is actually a resistor and runs on ohms. The switch reads the ohms, sends the signal to the VAT system, and allows the car to turn over. So if the ohms or that resistor goes out in that key, you're probably going to have to get a new one from the dealership. I'm not sure, we're not to that point yet, but there is ways to bypass it. Unfortunately, this thing has a starter relay that's supposed to be down here on this left kick panel. We couldn't find one anywhere. So by the looks of things, the way this person did this car, I mean, they cut wires everywhere. I'm thinking they cut that out. But even the speakers, you can see this grill is missing here, which we'll have to get new grills. But the speakers here in the wall, they've cut the wires on. I don't even know where that wire runs to anymore, but the other side is definitely cut. Back here, even this little light here doesn't work. So the bulb is good in it, but I'm more than sure they cut wires up front somewhere. I mean, this person turned this car into a wiring nightmare. But with a little bit of research and a little bit of common sense figuring stuff out, we were able to get fire to the starter. And we've actually replaced the starter. We just borrowed Jonathan's from his 4th gen, bolted right up. But the starter on this thing is actually froze up. The bendits aren't kicking in. I mean, you can hear the rod try to kick in, but I mean, it is frozen. So we're gonna pull this thing apart, get it all cleaned up, and I'm more than sure the starter's gonna work. If not, we'll get a new one, no big deal. But with that being said, the battery terminals, they lost the bolts in these, of course. So we're either going to have to put new terminals on it, which I'm more than likely will go with the top post instead of the side post. But we've had our battery here charging all night. We're to the point where we're going to get this thing to crank over. We're going to go ahead and mark all of the spark plug wires, number them, and pull the spark plugs out of it. Pour some Marvel mystery oil down in it. That way we get oil down on the cylinder walls where the rings won't stick to the cylinder walls. We're probably going to pull off a valve cover as well, try to get some oil down to the cam to try to oil this thing up. But we're going to go ahead and run to the parts store. We're going to pick us up some Marvel Mystery Oil, come back, and we're going to get this thing to at least spin over. It will not start because the tank has to be dropped. We're getting no sound from the fuel pump, so we're going to end up replacing the rear end in this thing because it has drum brakes. Since we're dropping the rear end anyway to get to the gas tank, replace the fuel pump, put another 10 bolt in it with disc brakes, and put it all back together, fill it with gas, and hopefully this thing is going to fire. I don't know, we may have to go through the throttle body, may have to get a new throttle body. We'll just have to wait and see. But it's a huge step in just getting this thing to spin over, because when we hooked up a battery to this car the first time, it was dead. I mean, we got nothing. But so far, we've got this starter to spin over. We crossed it old school style with a screwdriver. It definitely spins. We got the radio working, one of the speakers in the dash working. So we're gradually getting this thing to come to life. It took a short breath last night when we bumped it over. As you can see here, the rust on this belt, which was here on this pulley, we got it to bump over that much. But like I said, we didn't want to spin it over because we don't want to mess up the rings in it, or, you know, dry cam bearings with no oil. That would definitely not be good. But this thing is definitely work in progress, but we're going to keep at it steady and keep bringing you guys content on it. I know you guys love the 3rd gen Camaro. I know that because of the views that it's gotten just from one video. So with that being said, let's go ahead and head to the parts store and get what we need, come back, and we're going to get this thing to at least spin over today. It's been 10 years, so it's definitely a step, a huge step for the channel and for this car. So stay tuned. Alrighty guys, so we made it back to the house, and now we're going to go ahead and label these spark plug wires and the spark plugs, number them all, get them pulled out, and get some Marvel Mystery Oil down in the cylinders. I'm thinking maybe we'll just pour some in that oil fill cap and
yeah.
hope for the best.
Hope for the best. Hope for the best.
Because I mean, at worst case scenario, we have a LT1 350 block sitting back there. We could use this intake off of, use this intake on it and put a distributor in it and run that LT1, just rebuild that LT1, because that LT1 came out of this car.
I'm gonna have to go in the car and you're gonna have to hand me that spout through the motor.
All right, bet.
I gotta find the hole.
And in case y'all are wondering, we're using Marvel Mystery Oil. It's just an oil enhancer and fuel treatment. It's oil based, so you know, gives enough oil to be able to turn this thing over. Okay guys, so we've checked all the voltage. We've got enough volts going to the starter. We've got what, 13.16 to the starter, and we got 13.55 here. So I'm thinking you can hear the starter clicking. I'm thinking it's engaging and it doesn't have enough strength to turn the motor over. Maybe last night when we bumped it, which we really wasn't trying to bump it over. But I think when we bumped it last night, maybe that's all it would go. And maybe it froze up. So we're gonna get a torque wrench on that crank and see if we can't manually get it to free up and spin over. We got the plugs out of it, so it shouldn't have any compression. It should be easy to turn over if it turns over, but it could be rusted up and locked up. If that's the case, man, we're gonna have to go on a long journey. That's what happens when you let them sit up for 10 years. We should have done this in the first place. We should. I don't even know why I didn't check to see if it was locked up or not. That's always the first thing you do on a motor that hasn't ran.
Is it on one mode or what?
It may be set at 65 pounds.
So what do I need to set it at?
Maybe do about 80. We don't want to twist that crank bolt off, but I mean, if it's locked up, it really don't matter anyway. I'm not going to run a 305 in this car. I was just going to, you know, get it started and get it running and use it for a little while till we got the money to rebuild the 350. But I don't know, by the way it's looking, it's not looking good. Is it moving? No. What does it feel like? It's going to twist off? Just try to like bump it, you know what I mean? No? Is that socket too big?
No, I need to.
You need to what? Try to go from underneath? Okay, so I was hitting the starter and Matt had a little tension on the crank and I was just bumping it and it was trying to move, so we may get it to bust free. But I'm thinking the starter that we pulled off the 4th gen, it seems like it's a little smaller than this old one. We're gonna oil this one up and we're gonna hook it up to jumper cables, see if it spins. If it spins, then we'll go ahead and put this starter back on it and go from there. It's just a matter of getting this thing to spin over. I mean, if we have to, at best we might have to pull the valve covers off, you know what I'm saying, and pour some oil down it. But that's where we're at right now, so keep fingers crossed. Let's go. You're gonna have to have a negative, ain't it? Yeah. Yep. It's kicking in.
It's kicking in?
Yeah, hold it on there. Oh no, it's not spinning. Yeah, it's not spinning over. It was spinning last night, right? I thought I heard it spinning.
I'm gonna have to hammer this and pre some shit up in it.
Well, guess that's gonna require a new starter. It shouldn't be stuck anymore though. I think she's just seen her better days. All right, so I poured some more mystery oil in the valve cover, and for some reason we're getting a better charge on our battery. I don't know why. But we're gonna go ahead and give it another shot, cross our fingers, and hopefully get something going here. Oh, oh,
What?
oh,
No, man.
yeah,
No.
yeah,
What?
yeah. I mean, it spun a whole revolution almost.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Awesome, man. Awesome. That's what I'm about.
let's go ahead and keep spinning it over and try to get some oil to the top of the motor.
All right.
Don't hold it for a real long time.
Just like what? 2 seconds?
Yeah, we'll keep bumping it, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Because we don't want to get this starter too hot. The sleeves haven't been wiped in a really long time, so I'm sure they got some rust in there. But yeah, this is the first time this car has seen life in 10 years. So we know it's not locked up. This makes me so happy. This makes me so happy. I don't know how long that serpentine belt's gonna hold out, but yeah, I see it fraying, but it's okay. Ooh, I was scared there for a minute, I ain't gonna lie. Crank on it for a little bit. Oh yeah. So glad it's not locked up. Let it spin for about four good seconds. That was like 2 seconds. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. Yeah.
Hey, let me unhook that jumper because I'm just curious right now.
Yeah, we finally got it to spin over. That was the goal for today, and luckily she's spinning over. So we've come a long way in what, day and a half?
Yes. Without the jumper.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's without the jumper.
It's time for a fuel pump.
Yeah, buddy.
It's time for a fuel pump.
That's what's up, man. Just been rolling. Look at all rigmarole stuff.
Yeah, look at all this. We got the Titan charging the battery. We got the trickle charger was charging the battery, and jumper cables run to the battery terminals that run to the car. Hey, whatever it takes. That's the motto around here, whatever it takes. And so far that's paid off.
Should I keep on bumping it?
I would. We're gonna have to get them cylinder walls cleaned and get oil to the top of them heads. You know, we'll just keep doing it. You see her getting faster? But guys, this car had nothing when we first got it. The only thing it had when we plugged up a battery to it was headlights. We was not getting fire at the motor. We was not getting fire to the starter. We was not getting electric on the inside. It was just dead. And we stayed at it and finally got it to spin over. So today's been a good day. So on that note, we're gonna go ahead and end this video here. And the next one, we'll probably be pulling out the rear end and dropping a fuel tank, slapping a fuel pump in this thing, and the next step will be to fire this thing up, guys. We will catch you in the next one. You know what to do. For those of you who haven't done it, smash that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace. Hold on. Go ahead. Whoa.
She fires!
All right.
Man, yo, $375? What?
$375, bro.
$375, yo. That is what's up. That sucker's loud. It runs.
It runs.
She woke up.
And that was only with seven spark plug wires.
She woke up after 10
right.
years. After 10 years, she woke up.
10 years.